Hello, good morning. How are you? Thanks very much for joining us. Wow, 82 people joining us already. That's amazing. Hello, my name is Phil. Phil Earl. I am a writer for children and young people. But I think it would be fair to say that if it wasn't for the thing that we're going to talk about this morning, I would be neither a reader nor a writer. Comics have been the hugest part of my life. Every Monday when I was sort of 8, 9, 10, this beautiful thing used to come to our letterbox every Monday, and me and my brother used to fight over it. Highlight of our just about football, which for me was heaven sent, and it was this beautiful marriage of words and pictures together. And it was these things, it wasn't novels, it was comics that brought words and stories alive to me. So I am delighted today that we are going to be spending the next sort of 55 minutes in the company of one of our finest illustrators and writers in the comic forum. You will know him obviously best for these beautiful books. I've even got a bigger one here. Bing! So yeah, we're going to spend a little bit of time today in the world of Bunny and Monkey with Mr. Jamie Smart. And what we're going to be doing today is we want it to be really interactive. We want you to be joining in. We're going to do draw-alongs. So make sure that you have in front of you some paper or an iPad, however you work, because this is, 2021. And, iPad or a pen and paper. And we're going to give you the chance as well to share the work that you're doing. If you're with an adult and they have access to Twitter, if you see in the box top left there, if they use the hashtag draw with Jamie, and make sure you get the two W's next to each other, draw with Jamie, then as we go through, I can try and share some of your work online so Jamie can see it and so we can all see the work that we're doing. So stick your name on it as well. Also, you'll see there is a Q&A function. What I would love you to do is, as we go through, if you've got questions for Jamie, put them in there, because if we want, we can answer some questions as we go through, or we can leave time at the end. So I thought, first of all, hello, Jamie.
Hello. Thank you for the intro.
And secondly, I thought really quickly, maybe if there are people who have joined us who don't know anything about the mad world of Bunny and Monkey, whether you could give a very quick introduction to their worlds, please.
I could try. Let's see. There's a bunny in the woods, and he's got these friends called Weenie and Pig and Liv Fox. And then a monkey is sent into space by the humans, and he actually crash lands in the woods. He doesn't make it to space, but he climbs out of his capsule, and he thinks he's on some distant planet. He thinks he's made it this far. And so he decides to take it over, this planet. He decides it's his. He's going to call it Monkeyopia. He teams up with a skunk who happens to be an absolute genius and who keeps inventing these mad inventions. And together with him and Action Beaver and Metal Steve, you kind of have two teams. So you have Bunny and his team, who are all the good guys, and you have Monkey and his team, who are all the bad guys, and they just fight every week. And they're very cute, and they fart a lot, and they fall over, and it's exactly the sort of comic that I would be reading if I wasn't drawing it.
Excellent. Beautiful summary, sir. Thank you. So without further ado, do you want to launch into doing some drawing?
Yeah, let's do it. What should I draw one of Bunny or Monkey first?
Yeah, who do you want to start with?
Well, I'll start with the easiest one.
Okay.
Which is Bunny. So let's see, is that all in frame? That should be in frame. So if anyone else wants to draw Bunny along while I'm doing this, that'd be brilliant, because I'll kind of show you how I'm doing it. I'll show you how easy it is as well. So a lot of the characters in Bunny vs Monkey, they start with kind of a square shaped head, like this.
Okay.
So it's kind of a square, but it's kind of bulging, like it's got little curved edges and the sides are kind of bulging. But let's call it a square for the moment.
Do you always start in the middle of the panel, Jamie, as well, when you start?
It depends what's happening. Usually I pencil things out first as well, so I'm kind of cheating here that I'm just using a pen straight away.
Okay.
But yeah, it really depends. Often I'll write in the speech bubble first as well, because that tends to then tell you how much room you've got left in the panel to work out how much art to put in there. So then I will use a pencil for this bit. When I've done the head, I tend to try and work out where the character's looking. And for that, I'll use a cross. Can you see that right? You can see that.
Yep.
So use a cross to work out where Bunny's eyes are going to be, where his nose is going to be. And then once I've framed it, I can pop 2 eyes there, a little nose in the middle, and the mouth. So there you kind of have Bunny's face straight away. Add a little tuft for his cheek. Then the most fun bit about Bunny is his ears, because they're huge and fluffy and they never move. Even when he's running, they should flap behind him, but they don't. They just remain completely static, which I like as an artist because that makes it easier. So they're kind of like...
Is it good to have those cheats as well? Do you know what I mean?
Oh, drawing is 100% cheating. Well, 90% cheating. You learn, the more you draw, the more you learn cheats that enable you to draw quicker or better. We're all putting cheats in, and things like this is where we can show you how we're cheating. So the Bunny's ears are kind of like heart shapes. There's one main one, and then there's one always tucked behind. So that's Bunny's head, and that's, as you can see, that's pretty basic shapes. You've got a square for his head, 2 heart shapes for the ears, and then I just plonked on his face. His body is kind of a lump that goes underneath. There's the ground. So that's his body. Again, I mean, you ask about cheats. That is, I'm not doing any anatomy here. I'm literally just drawing a lumpy shape for his body. I draw a little arm there. He has a little sort of tuft of stomach fur. And then I tend to shade a bit under his neck in black because it just helps bring his face forward a little bit. Okay. Give him a little tail. Give him a little arm. Give him some eyebrows as well. And then that's Bunny. And that is how easy, it is to draw Bunny. I mean, obviously I've drawn thousands and thousands of versions of Bunny over the years because I've been drawing him for a very long time. But these are the very basic shapes that you can work with to draw Bunny. So there.
That's amazing. Do you want to show? I'll show you how much I've embarrassed myself. I'm actually quite pleased with that. I don't think that's bad for my...
That's good.
Oh.
I like it. I like it. Every time someone shows me a drawing of Bunny that they've done, it always has a slightly different character to what I've done, and it's a character that I've not thought of before. Like your Bunny looks quite sweet and thoughtful, and quite sort of vulnerable almost, like he's about to be attacked by a monkey. And I like that. These are bits of Bunny's personality that I'd like to put more into my own.
I think he's definitely a bunny that rings his mum 3 times a week. I think. Do you know what I mean? Like that. Yeah, definitely. And what about when you start to introduce movement, then, mate? Because that's often a tricky thing, isn't it? When you start out drawing, is there an easy, quick way that you can start introducing elements of movement?
Movement tends to, in a similar way, kind of run along lines. So you might, if I move this along, if I draw a monkey, hang on, I'm using pencil here. I'll just draw his head in very quickly. Monkey's one of the hardest characters to draw because I tend to get him wrong and have to keep rubbing him out. So monkey, say we want him kind of flinging himself that way. Often it helps just to draw a line of how you want his body to flail around behind his head. You want to show kind of the motion that's going on behind him. Often cartoonists will use motion lines like these sort of things to show a character moving forward. I try and avoid them if I can. I try and make my motion look like it's a photograph of a character, so everything is just like caught in that moment. But monkey, so monkey's face, for example, would probably be looking that way because he's flinging himself upwards. Okay. So the cross I draw to work out where his face is would be kind of tilted up because you want his eyes to be looking up like that. So you can see which way he's heading. And with monkey, that gives us a great chance to draw a massive mouth.
His mouth is always one of the most appealing. It sums him up beautifully, doesn't it? He's so bonkers and angry and anarchic and sometimes it's bigger than his head.
And the trouble is when you tilt a character's head like that, all the stuff that's on top of their head, like or on the side, like there is, or monkey's tuft of hair, you kind of have to cheat. You kind of have to just guess where it would be. So here I'll just add a couple of tufts there. That's roughly about the right place. I'll add he's got a little peak of hair on the front. And then just draw an ear in there and a little sideburn, little ear in there. So that's Monkey, and we can see from his head that he's kind of going in this direction.
Yeah.
So we need to then draw his body being pulled along. So this line that we drew, this little motion line of how his body's going to flow, we just follow it either side. Is that clear enough? So
yeah, it's great.
Yeah. And then 2 feet being dragged along behind. I've stretched his body out a bit here. Just colouring in under his head. The arms, you know, if Monkey's kind of flinging himself in a direction, his arms would probably flap around behind him like that.
I can see what you mean about that line. It's brilliant, isn't it? Because it gives you the natural bend to his body that just immediately movements. Weird. It's so easy.
And obviously it's not just this kind of line. If you can have them moving in any direction at all, you can stretch their head one direction and pull their body the other direction, as long as you can kind of work out what shape that line is. A monkey, characters with tails are always really good, long tails, because that often helps. So here I can just draw a tail flapping behind him, and that really helps kind of sell the idea that he's in motion. And it's what I love doing most of all is the shadows underneath them, because then suddenly he's in the air. He's not just a character on a page. It looks like he is being flung up in the air, and maybe just a little dust cloud behind him or something.
But that's really clever, isn't it? Because it means you don't even have to have the background. You don't have the background fleshed out. You've not got the landscape behind him, but you can instantly tell that he's in midair.
Yeah, most artists will tell you they kind of don't enjoy drawing backgrounds, because once you've drawn a background and then you have to keep drawing the same background in panel and panel and panel, and it's fine. And you'll know from my backgrounds, they're very, very simple shapes. I mean, the trees are not complicated to draw. They're easy to draw. But it is nice sometimes just to have a panel that is of the character doing something that is just like a flat color behind it or something, where you don't have the background. And in those instances, yeah, you do have to then make sure the character sells what they're doing, that you can see that there's a motion without any kind of world behind them.
Okay, brilliant. Okay, I'll embarrass myself again and show you what I've got.
Please do. I like it. I like it a lot.
He looks slightly tipsy, but I'm not quite sure.
It looks like he's skidded on deer poo. The little dots underneath.
Which is probably actually is exactly what I had in mind. Yeah. Thank you.
No, that's the next story. Thank you.
You've already got some questions coming in, so we can do this as we go along. So there's a young man called Kelvin Craig who's asking how old you were when you started drawing.
I've been drawing forever. I think everyone draws when they're very young, don't they? And then it's just some of us stick with it and some of us kind of drift away from it. No, I've been drawing forever. I remember being told off for drawing on the kitchen cabinets when I was 3, 4. And I can remember what I drew as well. I was using a brown felt tip on a white cabinet, so that's hard to get off. But yeah, no, I've been drawing forever. Nothing's changed. I'm still doing what I was doing when I was 3 years old.
And what were those first things you were drawing, mate? Can you remember any of the things that you were?
I was trying to draw my family, but I was drawing various weird, like, you know, when you're really, really young and you draw a car, but it's literally just a rectangle with another rectangle on it. I was doing that. I might have been drawing people getting run over and things. I don't know. It was whatever was happening. It was a mess, basically.
Yeah. And and what age were you then? When did it move from just being, you know, random cars or, you know, images into when did you suddenly go, right, it's comics, I'm going to start telling a story sequentially through these panels? What point did you start there?
I don't know. I think that kind of comes naturally too, because when you realize that you can come up with, you know, any character you want, you realize then that you can tell any story with them you want. And that's incredibly powerful feeling, to suddenly realize that I can create my own worlds. I can make my own stories here. And it's a very comforting feeling as well. So, if you're not enjoying real life so much, you can just go into your imagination and come up with stuff. I think I would have been given a lot of comic books as a kid, kind of to encourage it. and then you're shown what can be done. You're shown, you know, the epic stories and the silly, ridiculous stories, and everything in between, and you can kind of start working out from there what you enjoy the most, and what you want to do yourself. So yeah, I think it comes pretty quickly along with it.
So for me, it was like, as I said, it was Roy the Rovers for me, because football was my sort of thing. Was there one comic or one strip that really made you go, "This is what I want to do," or did you read really widely?
I kind of started on Garfield when I was very young, and then from Garfield, my friend showed me Calvin and Hobbes, and that was quite instrumental to me, because we talk about motion in characters and things. Calvin and Hobbes is very stretchy and kind of it's incredible. It's huge monsters and very sweet moments, and that's kind of what I try and emulate in Bunny versus Monkey. So I think that was a big turning point for me. And throughout my career, like, I've read different types of comics, and each of those types will then influence me a little bit. And TV as well. As a kid, I watched TV comedy, like, I just consumed all of it, and that taught me an awful lot about pacing a joke, about fitting little extra jokes in around it, about the silences you can put in between jokes, which just make them land even funnier. And I found you could translate that into comics. You could use that. So yeah, I watched as much TV as I read comics as a kid.
And what sitcoms, which were the ones that were most instrumental for you in terms of style of gag?
Oh, just all of them. I mean, literally, even all the terrible ones. I mean, a lot of the audience now probably won't remember how bad TV sitcoms were in the 70s and 80s, and they were just, a lot of them were dire. But it was funny. It was just funny watching people fall over, and it was funny watching people bang their heads and have awkward social moments and kind of all this stuff. Yeah, and then alternative comedy came out in the 80s, and that shocked me and made me laugh so much. Yeah, I couldn't name one because some of them are quite rude, so I probably shouldn't. but they all of it kind of just goes in your head, all the comics and all the TV shows, and they just.
I agree. It's really interesting when I go into schools and, like, people say about, do you have to be a reader to be a writer? And you kind of go, well, it helps. And obviously, if you want to be an artist, you need to practice. And if you want to be a writer, you need to practice. But I completely agree with you. There's so many different ways that you can engage with. You can let stories teach you how to do it. It doesn't have to be about reading. It can be the theatre, or it can be, you know, cinema or TV. It can be so many different things. It's brilliant.
Yeah. I mean, when because I write these illustrated novels called Flember as well, and obviously I've read a lot and that's influenced it, but when I'm actually writing a scene, I'm thinking of it in film terms. I'm thinking of it as kind of big cinematic moments, because I've watched so many films, and I work visually a lot better because of it. So yeah, like you say, you can be influenced by everything. You don't have to be influenced by the medium you're working in.
Absolutely. Well, I see like a lot of Goonies in these. You know, The Goonies is one of my favourite movies. It's, you know, that big epic action adventure, and I see a lot of that in Flember and stuff. You know, that it has that feeling. David Carmichael has asked, who is your favourite Bunny versus Monkey character? And I thought maybe when you've answered that, we could have a go at drawing them.
Well, I would have said Bunny, but I've drawn him. Who's my favourite? I like Lucky a lot. Lucky's a red panda who hasn't actually been in it a lot. He kind of had a storyline for about a year, and then he's kind of drifted to the background. The problem with Bunny vs. Monkey is that we now have so many characters. You want to keep the focus on the main ones that we've known all the way through, and it's trying to working out how to fit the other ones into the stories and maybe give them a main storyline, or maybe just have them in the background.
Yeah.
So I think Lucky the red panda is really cool because she's naturally unlucky. She gets blown up by lightning, and you know, all these other sort of things happen. So yeah, I think she's most fun to draw and write. I'll tell you the worst one to draw is Action Beaver. Action Beaver is a nightmare because I say I get Monkey wrong. Action Beaver I get wrong a lot more.
What's the thing you get wrong with Action Beaver?
Well, I can show you. Let's see. So if you have Bunny in a scene here,
yep,
you can see where his head is, where his body is, where the ground is. So Action Beaver, say I've got Action Beaver standing behind him. Action Beaver needs to have the same sized head as Bunny because they all have the same sized head.
Okay, draw along, everyone. See if you can do this with us.
Can you see the pencil line? Okay, that's all right. Yeah. And then, so I'll put the cross in. Action Beaver doesn't have any eyes. He just has a kind of the lip of his helmet down like that. A little nose underneath, and then little teeth there. Little tuft of fur as well. The problem with Action Beaver is then around the shape of his head, you then have to draw the helmet. So suddenly his overall head becomes an awful lot bigger. And when you're trying to fit a character into a frame, you need to kind of anticipate how much space to leave for that character. And I'm always getting it wrong. I've been drawing Action Beaver for 10 years now, well, longer than 10 years, and I still get it wrong constantly. So Action Beaver's helmet will kind of be like this. I mean, it's quite sizable.
Yeah. So it's adding, it's almost doubling the size of his head, isn't it?
Yeah. So let me just go over it with ink, because then this is the easy bit. So this is how big his helmet is. And he has this kind of target painted onto the top.
Yeah.
Has a little crack in the corner. This is the lip of it. That's the side of it. That's his nose. Sorry if I'm doing this a bit quickly.
Don't worry.
So it kind of goes like that. But as you can see inside, that was the original head I drew.
Mm.
And this helmet, every time I draw it, it's a different size. It's bigger or it's smaller. There's no consistency to Action Beaver. If it looks like there is, I'm just bluffing it. So if you've ever tried drawing Action Beaver and you've got it wrong, don't worry, I get it wrong every time. Yeah.
Now the good news is, if it loads, I think we've got a couple of images already to show you that people have been doing, which are pretty fab. So I'm just going to do my share screen, Jamie. I hope you can see this in a sec. Yeah. Okay. Can you see that one?
Yes.
Okay. Let me tell you who this is by, because I'll bring it up on my other phone. Hang on. Oh, it's hard doing this. Oh, we've got loads coming up. This is great. Who is it?
Oh, is that a cannon? Are they drawn monkey flying out of a cannon?
That's great, isn't it? Gosh, they're even adding their own details already, which is outrageous.
I mean, I didn't realise people would be drawing better than me. Oh, I wouldn't have agreed to this. No, that's amazing. That's really cool.
I'm just bringing it back up. I'm really sorry whoever drew it, because I'm trying to work out who it is, and I'm being really rubbish. One sec. Oh, wow, there's so many good ones. Who is it? I'll try and find it in a bit. Let me show you some others, because they're really popping up, mate. There's loads. Here's Abby. Look at these two crackers ready to go. Fantastic. Looking good, people. Yeah. Here's a good one. Martha's. Oh, Martha. Brilliant.
Oh, wow.
She's using the cross.
That's amazing.
Beautiful. Well done, Martha. So here's Alec. Oh, Alec's done multiples already. Look at this. This is fantastic, Alec. You should be well
he's quicker than me.
Let's just see if I can bring up the other ones. There's Alec. Great.
That's fantastic. Oh, I like the eyebrows. Definitely.
They're adding loads. Oh, wow.
Oh, and you've drawn all the motion lines. Yeah, that's brilliant. That's really, really cool.
Excellent. Right, let's see who else we've got. So, Kelvin, he also asked, have you got any new megalomaniacs coming? And here are some of his ideas.
Oh, let's see. Cobo, is that?
I think so. I like it.
They look brilliant.
These are great.
To answer your question, yes, there's a new megalomaniac every week. Every week in the Phoenix. If people don't know, Megalomaniacs is one of my current comics in the Phoenix. And it's about tiny little invaders who come to Earth and try to take over Earth, but they're rubbish at it. And every week we meet a new megalomaniac. So there's a huge amount of characters, we're slowly building up. And we've got some amazing ones coming up. I'm really excited for people to see them. Oh, these are cool. There's
so many. Look at this monkey being flown out of a cannon from Hannah Carpenter.
Everyone's adding a cannon. I should have added a cannon. I feel left out now.
Dylan, who's 8, has done this epic bunny. Well done.
I love those ears. That's amazing. Who is the first one? Have we found it yet?
I'm just going to flip through. So here's another one there shouting, sausage!
Yes, that is on brand for Monkey.
How difficult is it to keep Action Beaver's sort of nonsensical dialogue going in his random words?
I don't know. I tend to just write the first thing that's in my head, and those tend to just be made up noises. So I don't know. Yeah, I don't. Has Action Beaver ever said a normal word? I don't think he says.
Not very
Like,
often, if he does.
no, not even sausage or anything. No, it's just noises, onomatopoeic noises.
There's Sammy's bunny.
That is superb. That's a really, really cute bunny, actually. That's even cuter than mine.
There's one from Zach. He's really cute.
Love it.
These are so amazing. Look at these.
Everyone's so good at it.
And everyone's prepared just to go for it, aren't they, as well, which is great.
Yeah. I think once you realise how easy the shapes are, it kind of takes a bit of the magic out of it, because you realise that actually you can draw it yourself quite easily. And I'm keen for people to know that these are relatively easy things to do, and as everyone's showing, I mean, everyone's drawing brilliant bunnies.
Shall we do that thing then where I'll just stop sharing for a minute. Should we do a little battle scene? We thought it might be quite fun, didn't we? If people use the Q&A to shout out maybe characters. You do it. You set it up because you'll be much better than me.
Well, this is what I was thinking, because Bunny versus Monkey is something versus something. It's a character versus another character, and then they fight. And I thought it would be kind of fun to show you often how we come up with characters. And to do so in a way that it kind of then spells out what the story would be. So what I thought we could do is come up with two different characters and then have them fighting. So if we take it in, if we kind of break it down, so we'll work on the first character first. If someone could suggest like an object, like food or some stationery or a vehicle or an animal even, or first kind of object we get suggested, then I'll work with that.
We've got what have we got? A toaster.
A toaster. Okay. Amazing. Right. Okay. I'm gonna have to make a note of this. So a toaster, and then we add to that object a type of character. So, for example, like a ninja or a pirate or a policeman or a ghost or.
Okay.
Give me some kind of job or type of character.
We've got a mermaid from John Neal. I love that.
A mermaid. Okay, so we need so we're going to combine those two things together. So we've got a mermaid toaster. Okay, we can do that. So we're going to do a mermaid toaster versus. So can we get another object like we did last time? Let's start again.
We've got some more that came in before, so let me just let
me just write this down.
We've got Harry Tritchler suggested a jelly cannon.
Wow. Okay. Right, jelly cannon.
Are you happy with that?
Actually, I think that would be a really cool weapon for one of them to have. I'm going to keep that as a weapon. Can we have another object?
Another object. Let me just scroll up, see what we've got. Another object. I don't know if we can use this, but Oscar is brilliant. He suggested a screaming bum, which I just.
No, we are 100% using that. That's amazing. Okay, a screaming bum and a kind of a character like an orc or a Viking or something.
We've got a spaceman or a unicorn.
Oh, we can do spaceman.
Harry Tritchler has suggested not just a lawyer, but an Italian lawyer.
This is where I show my shortcomings because I don't know well enough what an Italian lawyer looks like. I've not seen enough. Right, I'm going to go with screaming. I'm going to run out of space. Space bum. Right, so I'm going to draw a mermaid toaster versus a screaming space bum. And I would very much like it if everyone else could have a go too, because whatever I draw is going to look awful, and I would like everyone to do better than me. Okay. So this is the brief that everyone needs to follow: a mermaid toaster versus a screaming space bum, with possibly a jelly cannon as one of their weapons. I mean, where do you even start with this? So what I'm going to try first is just going to divide it down the middle, so I know how much space I've got for each character. Well, a toaster is kind of a cube shape, isn't it? So hang on, I'll do this in pen so it's easier to see. So I would say a toaster is kind of this, and I've tilted it to one side because it's going to be firing out toast.
Yeah. It's that movement thing again, yeah?
Yeah. Let's just put, so we've got a slice of toast in there. Hang on, let me show you there. So there's a slice of toast already in there. Here's the other slot that will be empty because it's firing out the toast. So there, that's roughly a toaster. Oh, they have a little thing on the side, don't they? Roughly a toaster. Let's put a face on it. Put an angry face because it's fighting. So these are kind of two circles for eyes, but I've cheated and I've just put frowny eyebrows on it straight away. But it might be easier for you just to draw circles and then put the frowny eyes on. A mouth, let's give it sharp teeth. And then it's always fun to put feet on. Oh no, we can't put feet because it's a mermaid. Oh no, I've done it wrong already and I can't rub it out. Let's see, how can we get around this?
Could that be a scale?
Could be a scale. Yeah, it's going to be a scale. So let's draw a tail. Right, I'm going to go, let's make sure I'm still in shot. Yeah. I'm running out of pad here. So that's going to be its tail. Oh man, I'll never work again. Right. So let's draw lots of scales. I'm just going to pretend that foot isn't there.
It looks fine as a scale. It's great.
If I was doing this as a professional job, I would scan this, put it into Photoshop, and just delete that foot out, and you'd never know it was there. Oh no, oh, that'll do, won't it? Yeah, that's kind of it. Oh no, they could be hands. Oh, hang on, could just be hands. Right, okay, they're hands. Hope everyone's following this. Oh, someone's just said it could be a hand. Yes, it is a hand now. It was always going to be a hand.
Yeah.
So we want to see some toast flying out of the toaster like that. It's a very easy piece of toast. Just draw that to make it look like it's been burnt a bit. Maybe a few lines here. Here we could do some motion. So like that. And I would also perhaps add a bit of smoke.
Nice.
Just fluffy cloud shapes.
But again, you're not missing a background as a result, are you, at all?
No, if anything, it looks better without because you're concentrating on the main characters.
Yeah.
And then a screaming space bomb. Okay, this feels easier to me. This feels like something I could do. So I think for a screaming space bomb, we could literally just draw a circle. And it's going to be like a bum inside a space helmet. So a space helmet is just a globe shape, isn't it? It's a sphere.
Of course it is.
Yeah, I mean, we've all seen them. Here I'll use the little cross trick to work out where its face would be. Let's just do, right, okay. That's just me working out in my head. So we'll draw a circle. And then I think the side of the space helmet would look like that. And then just put some sort of, breathing apparatus on the back because bums need to breathe.
Yeah, yeah.
Maybe
vitally important.
Couple of vents. So that's kind of a space helmet, right? That's pretty easy to do. What I'm going to do, how's it going to scream? What's it going to scream through? This is my problem because we're edging into some difficult territory here. Right, I'm just going to plonk a face on it and we're going to cheat. So let's do 2 eyes, 2 circles for eyes. Let's give them bigger pupils. Sometimes it's fun just to make them big pupils. And then a screaming mouth with some jagged teeth. Right, I saw that suggestion that said it screams poop, and I'm not doing it because we'll instantly be disconnected from this stream. Right, so it's a screaming face, but obviously it's not a bum. So we need to, I'm gonna tilt it like that and like that. There, suddenly it's a bottom. Could put a little pock marks, a couple of hairs. I might shade this bit. Let's shade this bit in, just so you can see it's the inside glass of the helmet.
Oh yeah, that makes a difference, doesn't it? Oh gosh, that's brilliant. Yeah.
So there we go. Screaming space bump. Thank you, whoever suggested that. You've tested me, definitely.
I'm gonna just bring something up on screen because I saw that someone's already. One sec. Let me just.
Someone beating me to it.
Yeah, this was up about 2 or 3 minutes ago.
Is it better than
Kane, age 10. You see that?
Oh. Oh, you put the face on the toast. That's a brilliant idea. Oh, I should have done that. Right.
Kane, that is fantastic. Great.
Kane, that is amazing. Right, I'm just drawing a jelly cannon. So let's draw a jelly. I'll put it on a plate as well. I don't know how that would work in real life. Boom, sound effects. We haven't really done sound effects yet. Sound effects are brilliant. You can make anything a sound effect, even just a word or an adjective or anything. I tend to just put whatever helps move the story along. So there's a couple of wheels underneath. Let's put legs on the space bum at least, because we tried to on the other one. I don't know, is that done? Oh, let's do some exclamation to show he's screaming. So I tend to draw these little lightning bolts quite a lot coming out from characters' heads.
Nice.
Often because I don't like blank space in a panel, so I'll tend to try and fill every part of a panel if I can. And as such, I've kind of developed these weird little shapes that I put around every character. Normally, like, so in this instance, it's because he's screaming, it's an exclamation. Or you might put sweat drops like this if a character is nervous or you know, similar to that. So it can help convey the emotion as well, but often I just do it to fill space. So
it's good. You know, when you started then, is it important? I mean, did you do a lot of copying? Was copying, because when I'm not a great artist, as you can tell, but I used to do a lot of copying. I used to find, like, Garfield. I used to draw Garfield endlessly. Is that a craft thing? Is that how you learn?
Yeah, it was Garfield. Me and my friend used to get tracing paper and we would trace over the Garfield comics. And then what do? You flip it over, don't you? And then you rub it and then you flip it back. And I can't remember exactly how you do it. But then basically you've copied an exact picture of Garfield, which we then used to make our own comics out of. So we then trace them back into these comics and make our own. Yeah, copying is vitally important. It's so important. Everyone should be copying. Well, no, I shouldn't say everyone should be copying. Certainly when you're learning, when you're very young and you're learning how to draw cartoons, copying is really, really helpful, because you then learn kind of these tricks and you learn how to get characters interacting with each other. And yeah, definitely.
Great. Okay, let's do a few questions, because we've got the chat is wild. It's brilliant. Okay, so who's your favourite megalomaniac? So again, megalomaniacs appear weekly in the Phoenix comic, which comes out every single Friday, which Jamie features heavily. So have you got a favourite megalomaniac, mate?
Do you know what? That's quite hard to choose, because there are so many. I'll tell you one we did recently, which was Bob the Invisible Blob. This is possibly a spoiler, but he's basically a jelly, a translucent, invisible jelly. His body's invisible, but all of his organs inside aren't invisible. So you just see like a heart and a stomach floating around inside. That's such a fun character to draw. And he's miserable too, which is always nice. So he's always moaning that he's only partly invisible. So yeah, I would say Bob the Invisible Blob. I think he comes out in issue 506, 7. So in a couple of months' time. Yeah, he's my favourite.
Because there's the big issue coming up, isn't there, for the Phoenix comic? There's a big landmark issue coming up very soon, isn't there?
It's issue 500 this week, which is incredible for a weekly comic to run for 500 issues. Yeah, and it looks amazing. I was very lucky to be asked to draw the front cover of it, and it's kind of a double gatefold cover. It took me 6 days to draw it, and it looks insane. So I hope everyone likes it. But yeah,
have you been in every single one of the 500?
Nearly. What year are we in? 2021. Last year I was out for a month because I had too much other work to do. So I've missed a month. But out of 8 years or however long it is, I've just missed 1 month. But yeah, apart from that, I've been in every issue.
That's amazing. So we've got another question of Seth. Seth asks, how did you get the idea for Luchkin? Now, Luchkin is my absolute favourite character that you've created ever. So where did Luchkin come from? And could we draw him, do you think? Do we have time to draw Luchkin?
Can we, before we start, can we see anyone else's versions?
Yes.
Are there any more?
Let me have a look, see what we've got on.
Then I'll move on to Luchkin.
Have we got... here we go. Okay. So here's Zach.
Hang on, I'll keep mine up.
Is that showing?
No.
One sec. Sorry. Okay, there's Zach's.
That is very cool.
I just love the fact that the bum cheeks are almost serving as like eyes as well. They're brilliant.
It's really inventive.
Excellent. Okay, let's see if there's any others there. So this is Lois, and she's 8, and she's having a great time. Yes,
wow.
Look at those.
See, she's got Action Beaver straight away. This is what I'm saying. Like, I'm really bad at drawing Action Beaver, but everyone else has got it straight away. Amazing.
Brilliant. Good work, Lois. Let's just keep going through. Here's Mum joining in, Abby.
Wow.
Fantastic.
That's amazing.
Okay, the mermaid toaster now has gun-firing sea urchins.
Blimey. See, everyone involved has just taken this idea and run with it and made it even better. This is what's so fun about it.
Let's see what else is there. Okay, here's another one. This is M. Firth, I think it is. Oh, Eliza.
Oh, I love it. Love it.
And there was another one after it. Let me just squeeze that across. Yeah.
You're just so good.
Someone in the chat said the toasters are all looking a bit like Evil Edna out of Will-o'-the-Wisp, which I thought was quite...
yeah. Yeah, it's a similar shape, isn't it? Definitely.
Oh, wow, look at these. Martha, age 5.
Blimey. That's amazing. Can I... Oh, hang on, the chat's in the... Oh, yeah, there's the mermaid tail. There's the toaster. And there's the bum. And the bum's crying. I've never seen that before. That's brilliant.
Okay, whose is this one? Here we go. I can't remember who's this one. This comes from the account. It's Ben Robinson, so it might be Ben's son.
That is superb.
Daughter.
I particularly like the space bum. I like both of them. They're amazing.
And here's another one. Sammy's.
What's he firing? Poot, poot, poot.
I think.
The ammo is toast.
I think the mermaid is shouting numpty as well, which I really...
Right, these are all incredible. Thank you.
Wow, Mark Slade. There's Hannah, age 10.
I love it.
There's so many.
Oh, the mermaid's in a pool. That's the problem. The mermaid would be in water, but you can't put a toaster in water. That's dangerous. So it's a problematic character.
And here's Rudy's battle so far. Rudy's got some skills going on.
Oh, that's amazing. That looks exactly like what I've drawn. Is that not just my pad? Is that a photo of Are you standing over my shoulder? That's amazing.
Excellent. And one more. Right. Here's Etty's mermaid toaster. Whoa.
Ah, and the toaster's on fire. I should have done that.
I love the fact that she's also set to battle mode as well.
Yeah. That is brilliant. Wow, blimey. Okay.
Right, we've got 10 minutes left. Should we do a bit of Luchkin? Are you happy to do a bit of Luchkin?
Yes, I will do a very quick Luchkin. Well, Luchkin, again, is quite a simple character. Luchkin his head is kind of a circle, but kind of just squished, which you would normally call an oval, isn't it? An oval, like a squished circle. Yeah. But there's something about Luchkin's head that, a bit like Action Beaver, that I often just get it wrong and I have to keep redrawing. So I'll just try it. It's kind of that. So if you can draw that, I guess, yeah, it is kind of a squash circle. And again, we will do a cross. Let's have him looking up again, like we had Monkey looking up. And then big eyes. I'm going to have him poking his tongue out. So there's a cheek here. Big tongue. And another cheek here, and then just maybe a little shadow underneath. So that's Luchkin poking his tongue out. Let's just put a bit more black in his nose. His ears, I mean, there isn't a science to it. You're just kind of guessing roughly where they go on his head. Like that, maybe. And like that. Yeah, that's a luchkin head, I'd say. Just put a little hat on him. Because everything looks better in a hat. As for where luchkin came from, originally I came up with a character called Bear, who's in luchkin. And I did a painting. I was practicing oil painting, and I just painted like a teddy bear. And I thought, oh, this would be a funny idea for a comic. And I thought, but it can't just be about a teddy bear. I need some sort of antagonist. I need this teddy bear to be chased around by someone or something. And I sat down and I drew luchkin. And I originally drew luchkin like this. I'll just do it very, very quickly. So this is the original luchkin, which I don't know if anyone's seen. For some reason, he had a monocle. And yeah, so he looked like this. And then I just wrote luchkin above it. And then that was it. And somehow he went from this to this, which is a much nicer shape, I think, for a maniacal cat. Yeah. And yeah, so that's where luchkin came from. He came from coming up with a teddy bear, thinking of a comic for a teddy bear, and then coming up with a character that teddy bear can then go against, because often that's the best way of coming up with characters. One character, another character. What are they fighting over? What are they both after? Why are they teaming up? Why do they hate each other? You know, coming up with some sort of interaction between them can help you write the stories. Fantastic.
Keep posting your things online, people. Let me bring up a few more, Jamie, because there's even more popping up. There's so many great ones. So Vegas has been following along and having the best time. Thank you, Jamie.
These are so cool. That's
okay.
Amazing.
Here's Rudy's delighted face when you thought that his drawing was yours. That's made his day.
I did. I was genuinely confused. I mean, if you want to do the rest of this talk, you're very welcome.
I think here's another one. This comes from the Oscar, but I don't know if that's his dad, but that's really rather lovely.
Oh, I like that. Is that a dog? Like a dog version?
It is. It's beautiful, isn't it?
Lovely.
Here's way up there.
Wow. Oh, colour as well.
These people are working quick.
That jelly cannon's amazing. Blimey. This is, yeah, I need to up my game. I'm not good enough for this.
Here's Eliza's. Eliza's looking good and on the telly.
Blimey.
Very impressive. And here's Jack, age 10.
Wow. Everyone's so talented.
There's so many corkers. And here's by Rita. Rita's Action Beaver.
That is very cool. I do love a title and an explosion. And this has all of it.
It has both of those things. Let's just, there's another one. Yeah, great. That's very evil, Edna. Let's just scroll back to the top and see if there's any more. Yeah. Ah, we got our first luchkin. This is Cam, aged 8, mate.
Fantastic. You got the tongue and the top hat. Yeah. Superb.
Check. And here's Eliza's. She's even dated it.
Wow. Yeah.
That's some serious competition here, my friend.
No.
Now, these are brilliant. Absolutely brilliant.
If I ever have too many comics to draw, I can call on one of these and they can finish them off for me.
This is interesting. So this is Sammy, right, has gone off piste and has created their own character called Scallywag Bones, Skeleton Pirate.
Blimey. There's a lot going on there, isn't there?
Is that a chainsaw, do you think?
Yeah, it could be, or like a sword, but with lots of little chainsaw links around it.
I love it.
That's beautiful.
And then here's Robin, age 5's luchkin.
That's really nice, actually. I like that. I like that a lot.
Brilliant.
I like all the angles, like the flow he's got for the body and the head. That's brilliant.
And luchkin throwing saucepans.
Bums. That is exactly what he would be doing.
Let's just see if they. Here's. Let's just. Where was that one? Where's that one? There's
someone
so many.
Bunny. For Alan Johnson, so I'm going to draw an Alan Johnson.
Bunny in a cucumber suit.
Oh wow! Oh, that is really cute. That's amazing.
Absolutely amazing. Guys, these are absolutely fantastic. Let me just look at some more questions. Zach Little asks, could you make Lushkin a megalomaniac? And also, why did you use the chillax joke in both iterations of Megalomaniac?
Because it's a good joke. He's talking about one of the megalomaniacs I draw is Chillax, which is a snowman. And I'd previously drawn that comic or a version of that comic like 10 years previously or something like that. And basically he kind of rolls through the snow and he gets his snow gun stuck into his bottom and stuff like this. I just found it a funny joke, so I thought I'd reuse it. And I'm not ashamed, and I'd do it again. But all the rest of the Megalomaniac strips are all new, and they're all original stories. But it's just that joke I found quite funny. What was the other question? There was another question. Oh, would Luchkin be a Megalomaniac? Yeah, he could be, and I think that would be kind of funny. Luchkin's turned up in Bunny versus Monkey a couple of times. If there's a way to fit him into the story, I don't want to just plonk him in. I want him to kind of work into the story. This idea that they all share the same world. So yeah, Luchkin's come in a couple of times. Luchkin accidentally wiped existence, and that affected the Bunny versus Monkey stories. And then yeah, so it's fun to bring him into other things. I don't know if he'll be a megalomaniac. Maybe he'll turn up.
It's kind of like the Spider-Verse.
Yeah, exactly. Well, this is what we're all doing now, isn't it? You've got the Marvel Universe and things like this. It makes sense. If you've got a cool character here and a cool character here, why not just have them play with each other?
So Jenny Prettyman asks, is Mr. Frogbutt really alive or just a figment of Lushkin's imagination?
I mean, there's no answer to that. It's whatever you want it to be. Mr. Frogbutt, for people who don't know, is kind of like a sock puppet who kind of tells Lushkin what to do. I don't know. I would never want to answer that question because I think it's more fun not knowing whether he is alive or not. And the comics kind of hint one way and then it kind of hint the other way at the same time. So yeah, I'm not answering that. I refuse to answer that.
Patrick says, will there ever be a Lord Skull 2? Because Oculus was Queen Eyeball before, so an evolved Lord would be cool.
Yes, it's quite possible. The idea with Megalomaniacs is they're all kind of tiny characters, and they're all limited by being tiny, but every now and then one of them will kind of luck out and work out a way that they could increase their powers, like Queen Eyeball did in the Phoenix comics, and that's kind of fun when one of them suddenly becomes a lot more powerful and all the others have to then try and stop her. So yeah, Lord Skull, there are a lot more stories with Lord Skull yet to come, and there will be times when he finds all his power and he becomes what he's always wanted to be, and everyone else will have to try and take him down. So yeah, definitely.
Excellent. David asks, what's your favourite other Phoenix strip in the comic?
I'm enjoying Lovely Pirates a lot at the moment, the Gary Norfield strip. That is right up my sense of humour, firing pirates across the sea on cannonballs. I think it's hilarious. I like Squid Bits. Squid Bits is always funny. Starcat's looking brilliant. Now it's come back. It's kind of hard to choose. I mean, there's Mega Robo Bro, there's Fawn, don't make me choose one. It's genuinely a brilliant comic, and even if I wasn't drawing for the Phoenix, I feel like I would say that, because when I was a kid, we had loads and loads of comics that we could buy at the newsagents, and we don't really have that these days. Styles and stories that, you can't go wrong with the Phoenix.
I agree. Patrick has said, what about a chicken wing megalomaniac? That'd be sick.
I do have, I don't know, should I say this? There is a chicken one coming up who has a very weird surprise talent, but I don't want to say any more than that. So there is a chicken one, and there is a ham joint megalomaniac coming up too. So yeah, a joint of ham. So yeah, a megalomaniac could be anything. You just have to wait and see.
Rosie wants to know if Lushkin 3 is coming out.
Phil, can you answer this?
Yes. So what we're doing next year, and I've seen a really early cover for it, and it's really cool, is, we took the old format books and we made them look like this, made them longer and chunkier and nicer to hold. So we're going to do the same with Lushkin. So the first one will come out, I think when is it? It's next summer. So yeah, every bit of Luchkin that we've had will be reformatting into these lovely books. So yeah, it will be, my friend. It will be. Most definitely.
And there's an awful lot of Luchkin strips still to be seen. All the Luchkin strips you've seen in the book so far, that's about a third of it or a quarter of it. There's so much more Luchkin that we can cram into books. So yeah, there's a lot on the way.
Absolutely. Okay, let's have one more question. Isabel would like to know when Flember Book 3 is coming out. Do you want to talk about Flember?
Flember. So Flember is my illustrated novel. Book 3 comes out in October. There's already a book 1 called The Secret Book, and book 2 called Crystal Caves. Book 3 called The Glowing Skull is out in October. And it's about a boy and a bear that he brings to life. And by bringing the bear to life, he causes all manner of trouble to the rest of the island that he lives on. So then he has to venture out and try and solve all the problems he's caused. It's kind of funny, kind of scary, kind of epic, kind of huge. And I'm working on book 4 at the moment as well. So it's a whole series of stories, and it's really good fun. So yeah, October is the next one's out.
Excellent.
Waffles for Boja, 100%.
Man, that takes us to 12 o'clock. We've been doing this for an hour.
Oh, it's gone too quickly. I've been enjoying it too much.
We literally, there are so many questions and so many comments. It is amazing to see so many fanatical Bunny versus Monkey fans in one place. So amazing.
Thank you, everyone. This is and it's been amazing seeing your drawings as well. It's genuinely blown me away. I thought they were so cool.
Felix says Boja plus Waffle equals chaos. Which
100%, yeah.
And Harry wants to start a Boja cult. So it sounds like things are happening.
Well, Boja's the big red bear in Flember, and he eats waffles, and he does huge explosive farts. So yeah, there's a lot happens if he eats too much. Probably shouldn't talk about it.
Let's leave it on that bombshell.
Nicely done.
Jamie, it's been fantastic. Listen, don't forget, everyone, that there are 3 Bunny versus Monkey books available for you. They're all on sale at Waterstones. It's been brilliant to have you drawing along. Thank you so much. If you want to keep putting your stuff up on Twitter under that hashtag, I'm sure Jamie will look at them as the day progresses. So it's draw with King. There it is.
Yeah.
But thank you for
that. No, I'd love to see them. I'd love to see all of them. Thank you.
Excellent. Okay, we shall come to a close. Keep drawing, everyone. It's lovely to see you.
Yeah, thank you, everyone. Take care.
Bye-bye.